What's up guys, it's your boy Grips here and welcome back to yet another Rust video. This video will be in two parts. The first part of the video are taking place on the first 2 days of my wipe, and the second video will be for the last 2 days of the wipe. Our story this time will be way more action packed than the last time. Unlike last time, we are playing a weekend wipe this time, Friday till Monday. We are again playing on EU Trust Rust 2x solo duo. Link and IP connection is in the description. Before we go into this video, I have something really important to tell you guys. I know it'll be a bit boring to hear, but please bear with me, okay? On the last video I made, I was making overlaid voice after I had recorded the video. I quickly found out when I was making the video that was a lot of work in that, so instead this wipe was just talking in the game, which was fine. However, I was stupid to forget to turn down the volume in the in-game when I recorded in OBS, and many times when I was farming or flying in my mini-heli, you couldn't hear what I was saying. Couldn't you just fix that, you might ask? Sure, no problem, I did, and later I found out that another problem occurred, and this I was not prepared for. You see, there was a storm this weekend, mostly during the night when I was playing. The storm was called Nora, by the way, in case you haven't heard. The storm was so heavy that my doors in my apartment from my balcony were whistling all the time. I didn't think much of it, but it went straight to the microphone, and for sure I wouldn't want you guys to hear all that. I was sitting with headphones on, so I didn't really hear it, but the mic unfortunately got it. So again, I have to apologize. This video will mainly be highlights with voice overlay. In that way I can also skip through a lot of things I always do in my progress, and just tell you guys about it instead of watching most of it, like in my last video. Speaking of which, I'm happy that you guys liked the video. A huge thanks for everyone watching and subscribing. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe. It helps out the channel a ton. Now, with that being said, let's get right into my journey, shall we? The server had just wiped. There are full wipe every Tuesday and Friday, and our beginning here takes place on a super great map. This time luckily there was a sewer branch on the map, which is perfect for a solo, especially in the beginning of the wipe. So since there was a lake there next to it, along with a supermarket with a green keycard, I want to get there as fast as possible to claim it for myself. On my way there, I stopped by the outpost to recycle my components and trade stone for wood and get myself a jackhammer. Then next, up and claimed the area on the lake, and I made a quick base and went to the supermarket, and I got myself a green keycard along with some stuff for my new hemp base, which I also made on this map. Next up, it was down to the sewer branch, where I again got a lot of good comps for both recycling and also some to keep for my upcoming farm base. Then I went home and depoted and off again to the water treatment with our newly acquired blue card. I took the blue room and went home and depoted. Not bad for only 25 minutes into the wipe. With all my newly collected scrap, I went to Bandit Camp to buy an LR 300 and a mini-heli. Then I just farmed up a bit more so I could secure my base and put on a roof and doors. I also put down some furnaces. Things were starting to look up. At least now I felt a bit more secure. Since I now had the heli every 10 to 15 minutes, I could also go to the top of dome to get all the military crates from up there. Plus I could also get a lot of oil and fuel from under dome in case there was no animals around. Only 45 minutes into wipe and things were starting to go my way. But then things changed. I rushed a bit too much with my heli and then this happened. No! 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 But seriously, I just filled it up with all my low grade. Who can say where the road goes? Not to worry though, I was just next to sewer branch, and after a quick run down there and a quick recycle run, I had more than enough to buy a new mini-heli. So then I just ran straight back to Bandit Camp and bought a new mini-heli. My mood quickly fell though, because the server shortly started to lag and my mini-heli hit a tree and... I could not believe it. I lost yet another mini-heli, even after 30 seconds of gaining it. That must be some kind of a record.
Loser! You're a loser! Are you feeling sorry for yourself? Well, you should be, 'cause you are dirt!
That was a big hit to my stomach, I gotta admit. But when most people would just rage quit over this, I stayed on. It would only ruin my vibe if I just started to quit now. I went home and filled up my furnaces, made some more boxes and a tier 2 workbench, so I could make syringes and ammo after I researched them. I took the crate and water treatment, which I activated 15 minutes ago. I also at the same time took the blue room once again and I went back home. Shortly after, I saw an airdrop close by in the snow. I went to take it, farmed a bit more, took some polar bears and ran back home. After I sorted a bit in my base, I noticed that cargo was out. Luckily, it had just spawned, so I went quickly to Bandit Camp to buy my third mini-heli. Then I flew out to cargo and got a lot of stuff from scientist and all the basic grades, military and elite grades. Then I simply waited for the third grade to spawn so I could activate it too. And then I flew back home, depoted and went back to cargo. I looted the 3 crates along with the military crates and the elite crates that had just spawned. Then I flew back to inland and recycled at the fishing village. On my way home I also took the military crates at top of dome. I might as well since I was there. Then back in my base I researched the ladder and the ladder hatch, the garage door along with the embrace windows for my future heli attack roof. I also researched the explosive ammo I got for future raids. And also I researched some electric stuff for my hemp base along with everything I needed for it. Then I was very pleased to see some old friends of mine writing me in chat. They had come to join me after they had watched my last video. These guys, Campfire, Jump Out a Bit, Dada, Nipnat, Manum, Pigeon Dog, Baba Bowie Man, they were some Swedish kids I had run into on a different server months ago. They were really friendly guys and they used to be in groups of 3, 4 or 5 on servers like that, but here they came to play for the weekend as solos and duo groups. That made my day, that these guys would really put some hours into this vibe, although they would mostly just be role playing in small bases. They would for sure also give me and other players some PvP action. At this moment I couldn't see or tell who was teaming up with who, but further into the vibe I would find out. Anyway, back to the story. I continued to go to water treatment because that was mostly here the transport heli would drop the crate. After taking it, I took all my comms, half of the cargo run as well, into outpost and I recycled. Just one run to cargo back and forth and recycle would easily give at least 3000 scrap. After I continued to farm around, filled up my furnaces and just enjoying that everything was running so smoothly. And then I saw a new airdrop nearby. It was coming over near mining outpost, which was really close to my base. First, my eyes caught up with 2 bases, then up on the hill 2 more. This was for sure teammates, so I had to be really careful. And if it was the guys from Sweden, I really didn't know what to expect. I looked at the airdrop for like 5-10 seconds after it had landed. No one was going for it, so naturally I looted it, but then I heard someone. Let's just see how this was playing out, shall we? I hear someone. Just to sneak away fast. Yeah, I saw a guy. Oh, a guy on a horse. That's my mini-heli. I have it over here. Where did my mini-heli go? Oh, he's just around here. Fuck. Where did I put my mini-heli? It was up there, right? Was it more over here? Shit. Okay, nobody took it. Because I would have heard that. Sorry, buddy. That's Nip Nap.
Hey, Grips! Yo!
Hey, yo! Sorry, buddy. You know what?
It's okay, man.
No, I'll leave.
okay.
I'll leave your stuff. I'll leave your stuff for you.
Yeah.
As you can hear here, this whistle noise, that's from the storm Nora outside of my balcony door into my living room. That's why I couldn't play this video without this overlaid voice. Anyway, this was actually two of the nicest guys from a former server. Since they just started out, I left his stuff on his body, and one of the guy asked me where the airdrop was, and I couldn't help myself, so I laughed and told him I had looted it, and then I gave the stuff to them. Again, these guys needed a good start, I think. We had nothing against each other, and mostly they were just here to roleplay and have fun with some small battles with each other. Okay, not everyone comes into Rust to become the king or kings of the server. Anyway, we chatted for a bit and they were really excited about being in this video that I was currently making. This would not be the last I would see of these guys. Since everything was running so smoothly, I sorted my boxes a bit back at my base, and I decided, since I was so high up and scrap and farm already, why not just build the hemp base? I flew to Bandit Camp and bought the planter boxes. It's best to buy these since they are only 30 scrap a piece and it takes forever to make them with tarp and everything. Next up, I flew over to the river where I planned to having my hemp base. And then I just started building it. It was a peaceful area on the map, not any monuments around, so I could just build in peace without getting jumped. And on the plus side, there was a ton of nodes just on the other coast from here, so I started farming up a lot again. After farming for just 5 minutes, I had more than enough for the roof and for the first floor for the hemps. So I started to put in the electricity and pumps. But I was distracted once more because another cargo was out. You know what that means? Cargo equals loot. Loot means possible boom, and a lot of great comms plus unnecessary comms in the recycler, and at least 3000 scrap. So naturally, I did it again.
Oh baby, baby, I did it again.
After depoting, I could again focus on my hemp base, but then my plans were changed once again. Because, jump out of bed, one of the Swedish guys, he asked me in chat if I lived in J13, that's my main base. One of the first rules of Rust, you never tell people where you live, and you never do it in chat. Everyone can see it. It was frustrating, so I told him nicely in a private message on Steam that you never talk about it, and yes, that I lived there. The frustrating thing about this was not that I told him and that now him and his friend knew, but that anyone who would, they now knew where I lived on the server. They would easily come and raid my base. My base was secure, but not that secure. Even into an hour or two on a 2x server you can easily be raided. So I quickly finished my farm base and rushed home to upgrade my main base. I made an extra layer on the outside and made a lot of garage doors. I also made a second floor. Now I was a bit more secure. But it was getting late, and when I went back to my hemp farm base, I made a mini-heli garage and made some clones of the hemps along with some boxes for them. I had already been up since 4 AM this morning and worked at my new job and hadn't got any sleep during the day, so I was really tired. I couldn't plant my clones now and wait for them to fully grow into ripe stage, because that would mean that I would have to be up for at least 2.5 hours more just to harvest them. Instead, I just finished the hemp base with the third and last layer, and that was the end of day 1, ending at 11:30 PM, played for 6 hours. I woke up tired from yesterday's events. Not only tired from work, but the storm had kept me up most of the night. My hemp base was not raided, that was a relief. I saw that only one more player than me was online at the moment, and that was Campfire, but soon many more would join. This morning I had only one goal in mind, and that was to make more clones from my seeds. Today I was gonna start on my own at my new job from 12 PM to 5 PM, so I had 2 hours to spare now in Rust before getting ready to work. I flew back to see if my main base was still standing. It was. It has not been raided. I was actually a bit surprised by that. Next I made a recycle run to sort my boxes out a bit, and then I saw that the transporter had dropped a crate at the airfield this time, so I went to activate it. I flew a bit around the map while I was waiting for the crate to open, and while I was flying around southwest on the map, I noticed a kind of big base there in the water. But oh my god, then it happened again. I had just filled the mini-heli up with more than 300 low grade, and I was flying only for 1 minute. Another heli had crashed on me. But in my luck, the owner of the base here was Campfire, yet another of the Swedish guys. He was kind enough to fly me back to Bandit Camp so I could buy yet another mini-heli. Soon after, I went for the crate in airfield. Then I noticed cargo was out yet again, and being eager for scrap, I went there to repeat yesterday's success. On my way out there, I saw yet another big base.
Enemy spotted.
It was even being built when I was flying over, but the base was out in a bad location of the map, with no monuments near it, and far from all us other bases. I would keep this in mind. After the cargo, I had a little more time before I had to go to work, so I went to take care of my plants. Then since I wasn't gonna be online during the entire afternoon, I might as well be ready to make as many clones as possible for future plans. I also went back to my main base. I quickly made some external TCs around my main base, however due to server brands being so close I couldn't build more than 2, so I made a compound around my base. Now I felt a lot safer. Before going offline, I took my heli back to the hemp base and took clones one last time. Now I would not die on clones this wipe, that was for sure. That was the end of my morning run. It was now 10 AM, not bad for 2 hours of play. I came online totally beat after my work shift, but excited to be back playing again. The first thing I knew I had to do was to plant all my clones, so I did just that. As you guys saw in the last video, I was stacked with scrap after all this, and even more stacked with boom once I did everything. But you guys will see the result later. After planting, I headed back to my main base to check if it was raided, and luckily it hadn't been raided. Next I made a recycle run, which I hadn't had time for earlier this day. Even though there is a fast recycler plugin, I was using all 3 recyclers. It was really my own fault if the stuff would get stolen from there, and that was just what happened. This guy, Sylv DM, he was stealing just when I was away from my recyclers for a second. He then saw me and I guess he regretted. I took it nicely and spoke to him over the mic, but he was only texting since he didn't have a mic. Then he was trying to go for even more of my loot, but he didn't succeed. Then he left and I left too. Soon after the recycle run, I went to airfield to a crate I activated 12 minutes ago. Let's just see what unfolds here. Just stay up here. Just scouting out a little bit. Yep. I hear someone inside here. Crate has not been taken yet. This is exciting. Oh, poor guy. There you are. Come on, go for it. Yeah. Come on, go for it. Go for the crate. Run a little bit more. Run, don't sneak for it, run for it. Yeah, I hear you. That's how you do it. And there he was, Sylv DM. I got back at him from stealing from me an outpost. I went back to that base south that I saw earlier. It has been upgraded now for full metal with some mistakes around it. It looked a bit weird. Next up, I took Bradley. I expected people to show up to fight for the loot, but no one came to counter me. When I went to recycle, I saw that one base I saw earlier had been expanded, and there had been made a compound around it. That could be a nice raid target, also since it was very close to my base. But the two small role player bases on top, they were not expanded, so that was a bit weird. Normally this guy who lived in there, jump out of bed, he built all kinds of big bases and even bases for cars, but maybe he had something else up his sleeve for this wipe. After I recycled again at Outpost, I was sure I was gonna lose yet another heli, but I barely made it. Now I really had to focus on not keeping on crashing. On my way back, I was called over by Jump Out of Bed.
Shit!
Hey!
My plants are dying!
Are your plants dying?
Fuck! Yeah, my pumpkins, look.
Oh, you're planting pumpkins up here in the cold. Oh, you have a heater. Nice.
Yeah, they died.
They died?
Fuck.
You wanna see a real hemp base, by the
I
way?
was off for too long. Yeah, sure.
Okay, come with me, buddy.
Fuck.
Ah, that sucks. How much does it take normally for pumpkins?
Sure. We don't really care about like genetics, we just plant them for
Exactly, me
feeding
too.
our horses with them.
Whoops.
Whoa!
I said I have been I was almost crashing my 4th mini-heli this wipe. I'm not even kidding. Now I know what the title of my video is gonna be. Grips crashing heli all day long.
Yeah.
He had made himself a little pumpkin farm base. I have no idea why, but like I said, some people just come to the server to roleplay. There are endless pumpkins around the rivers, so he could just easily have picked up rows and rows of those if he needed food that bad. I decided to be a nice lad and show him my farm base, so I took him there. And this was his reaction. Here we are.
Oh.
You see?
Holy shit.
We chatted for a bit and I showed him just how the hemp base was working and how easy it is to make. In return, I needed info from him if he knew where people were living. So he gave me a quick summary of the 3 bases he knew for sure. His base on the cliff and the one just next to it, that was Nipnats. Then right down from there in the wooden compound lived a guy named Dada. And then it was Campfire, as we knew, and Magium who lived in the water base in the southeast. I had already forgotten that Campfire and Magium was friends on Steam and with all the other Swedish guys, along with Dada. Nevertheless, we went over to Campfire to check out his base, and this is just what happened.
Oh, look there.
Oh,
I think
another.
it's. Oh, I think that's Campfire's door skin.
Yeah, and it looked like a car base. He has a mini heli because there is a mini heli. Holy fuck!
Oh, yeah, there it is.
Wow, he expanded since I was here last time. Wow.
Yeah.
Holy hell!
I think it has like wide gaps and stuff.
Oh my god. Okay, oi.
Imagine he logs on now. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Manum, yeah.
You motherfuckers!
Yeah, don't worry, Campfire. Don't worry. It's just us.
In the beast.
You motherfuckers. Rate me. Oh, he's finally up. Is he scared?
Don't rape me, guys.
After we had fooled around for a bit, I flew Jump Out of Bed home. And I was kinda sad that the only real bases around here were some of the nice guys I knew. Because who wants to raid nice guys? Plus, they didn't have many hours in Rust, and I wanted them to have a good vibe, at least for now. My plan was definitely to find someone to raid tonight, but for now I needed some kind of action while my plans were still growing. I was then later shot on from the Swedish guy's base. I kinda hoped it would be Dada, so I would have a reason to go and hunt him, but it was actually jump out of bed. Those two were in a fight, Dada and jump out of bed, so we had a little bit of fun in chat. After I finished my main base with a heli garage and a shooting floor for the attack heli, I went to harvest my plants in my hemp base. Cloth was stacking up, and loot as well, but I didn't go with the first batch. I wanted to wait till I had a full inventory of just cloth. So for now I was just planting my clones in all my planter boxes, and then I would just have to come back in 2.5 to 3 hours. Then finally heli came out and I took it. It went down over in sewer branch. This was kind of okay since I had a good overview over sewer even from the top of my base. I quickly went for the loot and got myself 2 boxes of rockets and C4s, and even got myself an M249. That was amazing. After this I went and bought myself some SAM sites from Outpost. Having this much boom in my base must be protected, so I made some wind turbines to combine them and also set up some turrets around my base along with some shotgun traps. After that I went to activate a crate at water treatment, and I wanted to explore the map a bit also. I came upon a few bases, but not really anything worth raiding. Plus I also wanted to make online raids soon, and I was not going to raid newcomers who just wanted to get a good start. That's actually a rule for me. I always want to give people a chance and first start raiding people after they have set a decent base and at least played for 8 to 12 hours after I'm going for a raid, if that makes sense. On my way back I was greeted by Jump Out of Bed, who was also in a mini-heli. Let's see what happens here. It's actually pretty funny. Hey buddy! Hey!
Hello, man.
Hello, man!
Follow me.
Okay. What does he want? Oh shit!
Whee!
He wants me to follow him, and I will, but... Cool. He's playing a dangerous game. Oh shit! Wow, the mini-heli meetup. No. Although I lost yet another mini-heli, I couldn't stop laughing at this moment. These guys were just fooling around and I took part of it. However, I felt like Dada, who crashed into me, he owed me a new mini-heli. If not because of that he flew into me, he actually tried to kill us at this moment. Spry Scorpion. Hey!
Why the fuck is he shooting?
Do you see him?
Fuck off!
Do you see him? Where is he?
I can kill him so easily.
Yeah, but
He's
I
in
don't...
the forest now.
Oh, he's down there. I thought he was up on the hill.
Yeah.
Who is it? Your friend Dada or?
It's Dada.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's Dada. Where is he? Oh, I see him.
Campfire and those. Fucking fish.
Oh, I headshot him.
Scary now.
He's running away. He's
Wow,
trying.
he hit a lot of shots.
He's trying to spray. You owe me a mini-heli, buddy. I got him.
Target is down.
After I took him out, I took his stuff and wrote to him in chat that he could exchange it for a new heli for me. But Jump Out of Bed and me quickly found out he went offline after this fight. He had been speaking with him in Discord, and Dada had also crashed 2 helis. So yeah, I could understand his frustration, but why would he then crash into me? It didn't make any sense. Just when this was going down, I looked up to the skies and I saw this. 3 air supplies had been thrown from campfire space. I couldn't go for it at this moment. My inventory was close to full anyway, and I had the crate activated in water treatment, so I went for it. Here again, I was met by Jump Out of Bed. He didn't kill me, it was close though. I let him take the crate. In exchange, that he flew me home. But Jump Out of Bed had not seen the 3 airdrops coming out. We decided to go for them, but like Jump Out of Bed had pointed out, we couldn't loot them from mini-helis anymore. And a little didn't matter when we were starting to getting bolted at. We can try! So what do? I just press E next to it? I won't fall down, right? Oh, shit! Oh, okay, bad idea, bad idea. Yeah. Did he hit you? Oh. Yeah, I saw this base early on, and now he finally expanded a bit. It was a 2x2 like mine. But there was yet another one shooting at us from the lake, a base that had been there since late yesterday, a small 2x2 that had been expanded. After all this semi-action took place, I was still waiting for my second round of plants to grow into the ripe stage. And I had been using a lot of scrap to research and bought a few extra metal from outposts. So now I wanted to recycle stuff from my boxes again, so I did, and I went to Bandit Camp once again and gained myself yet another mini-heli. And then cargo was out, so I went and took that again. I might as well. 3000 scrap plus all the loot. When I came back again, I took the attack heli, got another batch of rockets and C4s, and now I finally went to my hemp plants. I collected a full inventory of cloth, 60,000 cloth. There was still a lot more harvested, but I put that in my boxes, and I was going with all this to show you guys. I flew to Bandit and I exchanged it for 7,500 scrap from the shop. Long live restock plug-in. Then I just had to fly now to Outpost to buy the smoke nades. I only used half the scrap, but still, I got 13,500 GP and over 18,750 metal frags. If I had used all the scrap I had on me, I wouldn't have room enough in my inventory anyway. The total I could get with the 7,500 for 1,500 smoke nades, that would be 1,500 smoke nades times 18 GP per piece, so that would be 27,000 GP, and the 1,500 times 25 metal that you get a piece, 37,500 metal frags. Come on guys, this is epic. At this point, it's safe to say that I didn't really have to farm or do anything else to take my enemies down at this point. The hemp base had again shown to be very successful. The only thing that was bad about having one is the pre-work to make it, but the result is epic. And then you can also consider if it's worth making one for having it for only 3-4 days. Since there's a full wipe on this server every Tuesday and Friday. It is a 2x server, so anyone willing to put in the hours of play can easily get themselves a chunker of a base and enough PvP. And just as promised in the beginning of the video, PvP would come in this story along with online raids. Next up, I went to take Bradley again. In my log there was 2 Bradleys there, and they were stuck on each other. I used 10 HV rockets for them since there was 3 that didn't connect with both, but still I saved 4 HV rockets, and taking 2 Bradleys at this time is really awesome. I got a good amount of loot, plus some extra boom for the raids. After depoting, I went back with a jackhammer and I took both Bradleys with the jackhammer. I got 300 HQ and almost 4000 metal frags. Unfortunately, I was lagging once again when I was flying my mini-heli. And yeah, no surprise, boom! I lost yet another mini-heli. I don't know what was going on this wipe with my flying skills. My furnaces were at this time cooking up a lot of sulfur, and since I had endless gunpowder and metal and yeah, just enough boom to take down everyone on the map, I was really looking forward to make online raids soon. One guy that I really wanted to give an online raid was Campfire, since he was mostly online, but sadly not at this point. I went back to Bandit Camp, bought me another mini-heli and went for my body at launch site. I went back home with all my double doors and single armor doors, and I secured my base even more. Then right after, I went to scout out Campfire's base once again, estimated how much boom it would take to raid him, and also if I should make a few raid bases around his base in case I died. But it would have to wait, since the attack heli was out yet again. And just when I was flying over the lake, I saw that the base there had been expanded a bit more. I took the attack heli, and since there was not a lot of people online, I might just take the crate in water treatment. And also I used all my air supplies. Sadly, I rode a bit with the Swedish guys, if they knew if Campfire would be online soon. But no, he had used about 50 bucks on some kind of skin boxes, and sadly for him, he didn't get anything. That just shows again that you should not spend your money on silly stuff like skins. That's just my opinion. I was stacking up again in my base and prepared myself for making raid bases around Campfire's base for when he would come online Sunday, the day after today. Then I would be ready. But it was getting late this Saturday night. It had actually turned into Sunday morning. It was now 1 AM, so I would have to wait until the next day. I have had quite a busy day at work, and I was just very beat now. I had been playing earlier today for 2 hours in the morning, and now for 6 hours. It was certainly time for bed. That was the end of my first 2 days of wipe. And as promised, a lot of action would definitely be happening in the next 2 days, so stay tuned for video number 2. I hope you guys liked this video so far, so please remember to like and subscribe, and feel free to put a comment down below. See you in part 2 of our journey.